And now it is my privilege and honor to introduce to you our commencement speaker this morning, Mr. Edward Emerson III. Mr. Emerson, from the family right over there, congratulations. We're happy for him too. Mr. Emerson now serves as a political consultant, but he's also one of you. He earned his KCC Associate in Arts degree in 1978, and then he transferred to Illinois State University. He also spent more than 3 years working as KCC supervisor in our Veterans Affairs office before moving to California. He has earned his master's degree from San Francisco State University. In 1988, Mr. Emerson joined the presidential nomination campaign for then Illinois Senator Paul Simon. This work began a long career primarily behind the scenes in politics. His career highlights include working for 10 presidential campaigns and being in the White House Advance Team Associate Director for President Bill Clinton and First Lady Hillary Clinton. Ed has a deep faith in the political system and believes that the democratic process works. He currently lives in Sacramento, California with his sweetheart, Despina. And when KCC celebrated his 50th anniversary, Mr. Ed Emerson was recognized as one of KCC's fabulous 50 alums. If you would please welcome Mr. Edward Emerson.
Yeah. All right, everybody stretch a little bit. Stretch, turn to your right, turn to your left. I can't believe they've got me doing this. It's going to take just a minute or so for me to relax, adjust the mic. It's going to make the mic guys nuts, right? I'd like to thank President Avendano very much for that nice introduction. My dad would have loved it, and my mom would have believed every word. So the KCC Board of Trustees, who's up here today, one of the things that I wanted to include and not forget are the fabulous faculty. Do we have some faculty here? Our faculty and our staff here at KCC were the ones that inspired me and brought me along. I'd like to give a big thank you to those guys for being here today. I'd like to genuinely extend my heart to my beautiful wife, Despina, Kevin and Trixie, my friends who flew here from California with me for some unbelievable reason, mostly to see Kankakee and die. That's what, that used to be Kankakee's travel slogan years ago, but they changed it for obvious reasons. My sister Mary, her husband Brian, Mike, Rhonda, the spirit of Tristan, is here with us today. And I really want to thank everybody, all of you, especially the graduates and the family. Give yourself a round of applause. Out of the night which covers me, black is the pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. It matters not how straight the gate, nor how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Long breath, it says here. Relax. We're going to take a selfie. Ready? Just a quick note, anybody have a cell phone with them today? If you could turn the darn thing on, because I wouldn't want you to miss any texts or any phone calls while I'm talking. All right, here we go. Ready? All right, everybody smile. All right. How do you turn it? You got to turn it around, right? There you go. Take the dumb hat off. All right, here we go. 1, 2, wait, get rid of the hat. 1, 2, 3, everybody wave. Whoa! All right, perfect. Now you take a selfie with me. You turn around, okay. You guys look great. You look really nice. I remember being here years ago. The only embarrassing thing is we've all got the same robe on. We couldn't get, I see some people with the Phi Beta Kappa hoods. I just want to say something that former President George Bush once said, which is to all the C students out there, you too can become President of the United States. I want to congratulate especially the High Honor Award students. Raise your hand. I think it's mostly the folks with the hood. The High Honor Award students. Just want to let you know that being pre-approved for a credit card is not one of the rewards. You don't have to fill it out. My lesson there is have a few jokes on hand. As you go through life, have a few things that you can throw out there, that you can give to people. You know, I love humor. I keep it everywhere I go. This is technically my first commencement address that I've delivered to an actual college. This is not my first commencement speech. I have previously spoken to the McKinnon School of Nursing. The president's right over here, right there. The Albers Technical College. Trixie School of Online Trucking. Huge speech. University of Mike and Rhonda in Beaverville. It's a small college. It's an arts and science. It's really nice. It's not very expensive. And Trump University. Still waiting to get paid from Trump University, by the way. In fact, it turns out I owe Trump University money for having the honor to speak at Trump University. Nice. Stretch, deep breath. I had to put that in there or I would just fall over. Tennyson in Ulysses writes, I am part of all that I have met, yet all experience is an arch wherethrough gleams that untraveled world whose margin fades forever and forever when I move. How dull it is to pause, to make an end, to rest unburnished and not to shine in use, as though to breathe were life. It's not. Get out there and pick a fight. Get busy. When Mozart was my age, he'd been dead 39 years. Guy wrote a bunch of symphonies, maybe you've heard. I'm honored to be asked and honored to be part of KCC family here today. I spent some of the best years of my life on this campus, first as a student and then as Director of Veterans Affairs. Those flags that you see out front there were put there by our veterans community with the help of the great John Fulton. Is John Fulton here by any chance? No? John Fulton, I think, is a good man and was integral in the Veterans Club here for many years. I studied and worked hard while I was here at KCC. I worked full time. You guys know what I'm talking about. I worked full time at Tony Panazzo Fruit and Produce. Who remembers Tony Panazzo? Everybody remembers Tony Panazzo, right? I used to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. We'd drive to South Water Market, buy a bunch of produce, come back, break it up, deliver it to restaurants. And then I would come to school after 8 hours of work. You know what I'm talking about. You know what this is. You sit here tonight as part of this. You know that the next steps are not easy. All of us have sacrificed to be here today. I was promised a teleprompter. I don't know what the hell happened to that. I first came to KCC in 1974. Ask your grandpa. 1974 was an amazing year. I came here. My good friend Wayne Nass was going to play baseball for Irish O'Reilly. I wasn't thinking about college or what the next step was. All I saw were people that I knew that I hadn't gone to Herscher High School with. And if you've spent 4 years at a school, you're like, okay, I need somebody different in my life to talk to for a while. And so Limestone Grade School, anybody? Yeah! The Blue Devils, woo! Herscher High School, Fighting Tigers, yeah! Except if we're playing Bishop Mack, then it's... What? KCC, the Cavaliers, to ISU to finish my bachelor's degree, and then on to San Francisco State to get my master's degree. 1974 was Jim Paul, the history teacher. How many people took history of Western civilization in 1815? Right? Nobody here? They don't teach that anymore? He retired? Oh my God, probably 30 years ago, right? Steve Lear, Carl Haas, Bernice Bukowski, who taught me all about poetry, Carrie Adams, Larry Rabideau, my personal heroes, Rick Manuel, and God bless Don James. KCC was the beacon on the horizon, but you had to be looking for it. You have to look. Kankakee in the 1970s was 5th in the nation in per capita unemployment. It was a tough place to live at the time. You were lucky not to get in trouble, and you could get in trouble really easily in this town. 1974 had 3 of the defining moments of my life. Nixon resigned. This was a great day, drove me into political science. Muhammad Ali knocked out George Foreman to regain the heavyweight title at the ripe old age of 36, I think. And then I got hired by KCC as the Veterans Coordinator. Great 3 years of my life, great time. We raised the money for those flags. We did one of the first Agent Orange seminars in the United States. We did a thing for veterans called a Help Center and was able to put that together for guys coming back from Vietnam with what we know now as PTSD. I went west. I went to KCC and then worked there for 3 years and then went to graduate school in California. I worked as a community organizer in San Francisco and eventually answered the call to go east and work at the White House for President Bill Clinton. One of the great honors of my life was to serve this country at the White House. Each day was a new and amazing moment in U.S. history and my life at the same time. The two integrated. They were one. The people I worked, the people I met, the places I traveled. I've been to 30 countries. I've been to 49 states. North Dakota. Anybody from North Dakota? What's a good reason to go to North Dakota? Anybody? The weather. 0 the temperature. I've been to Northern Ireland as part of the peace process. I stood on the beach of Omaha for the 50th anniversary of the invasion of Normandy. Israel, Egypt, Kuwait, South America, and the lovely Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. How about that? Anybody ever been to Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania? Nah, there's a good reason. It's usually underwater. Each day, each moment at the White House, I had the opportunity to speak with the president and the chief of staff. Each moment of that day, I was who I was as a KCC graduate. That thread, that line, that runs straight through me to you. Talk to me if you get an opportunity after this thing is over and you can shake the hand of the President of the United States. You're one away. No Kevin Bacon 6 stages here today. Obama once said that we were the people we were waiting for, and it's true. Nothing could be more true. I was promised a teleprompter. Did I say that already? Here's the big story. Here's the big lesson. You've got this. You did this. You've already got the hat and the gown. Keep it. Right? I mean, you are graduates. You can now walk down the street and sort of nod to yourself, hey, I'm a college graduate. Think of that moment, the many times when you had the correct answer. Think of that time when you worked your way through a difficult situation. Think of the moment when you stood up for the first time as a college graduate and as they called your name across the stage and you didn't trip. Remember this moment. Remember this day, because there's going to be more like it and more great things will happen because you've already decided you want to be somebody. You walked away from that ordinary life to be a college graduate. You have confidence. You've learned how to use. You've learned how to learn. That's the biggest piece. You know how to teach yourself now. The professors guide you and give you information, make you buy a $400 book that's only got a couple things in it. Use these things. Now's the time. Transfer to a 4-year institution. Find a job. Get a promotion at the job you're at. Join the military on an officer track. You've got a degree now. You could be an officer. Open a business. Anything is possible. Anything at all. The great Yogi Berra once said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. Make sense? Right? You get there and there's a situation, you know you have to do one thing or the other because doing nothing is not an option. After I got my degree, I was afraid. That's right, I was afraid. I don't seem like the type of person that gets afraid. Here's the secret, you're never not afraid. Never. I'm still afraid. I was afraid to write this speech. I'm kind of nervous up here giving it, although I don't seem nervous, do I? I seem pretty relaxed. My fear of failure never approached in magnitude my fear of what if. What if I never tried? What if I never got up in the morning and just stayed in bed? What if I decided to only give it half effort to a term paper or something like that? Give it your all. We have to speak up. Our job, your job, is to speak up. Make some noise. Voices from the past, voices from the future. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Anybody? FDR? Okay, there we go. You a poli-sci major? No, you're doing well, though. Act on the passion, for it is left to you to take action. We need the courage of the young. Yours is not the task of making your way in the world, but the task of remaking the world in which you will find before you. Find a problem, go there and change it. Malala, the youngest person ever to receive a Nobel Peace Prize, says so eloquently, when the world is silent, one voice becomes powerful. That voice is yours. You can do this. You've got this. Treat each moment as an opportunity. Each second requires action. Each day requires a new commitment to being great, because you're great. And a new dream every day. The point is, and what I will leave you with today, is enjoy the process of your search without succumbing to the pressure of the result. It's the journey, my friends, not the destination. An old boss of mine used to like to finish his speeches with this poem, Jesse Jackson, years ago. I'm tired of sailing my little boat far inside the harbor bar. I want to go out where the big ships float, out on the deep where the great ones are. And should my frail craft prove too slight for waves that sweep those billows o'er, I'd rather go down in the stirring fight than drowse to death at the sheltered shore. Thank you. May God bless you all. May God bless the United States of America. Thank you, thank you, thank you.